aftermath of defeating Ichinos, there is a sense of relief and relaxation while spending time in Shinagawa again. However, this peaceful moment is interrupted by the shocking news that Sue has somehow come back to life and was spotted in Minato City, despite previously being shot by Space Tsukai 3. A plan is formed to travel to Minato City to find Sui, despite it being forbidden to travel between cities by Zero. An underground passage through the Shinagawa underpass is revealed as a secret route that can bypass Zero's detection systems. Multiple characters agree to join this risky journey to Minato. Upon arriving in Minato City, the group discovers it has a rougher atmosphere than expected. A mysterious app appears on everyone's smartphones, displaying numbers and rankings. The group encounters some hostile locals who judge them based on their status and occupation, hinting at the city's strict social hierarchy. Background is provided about the legendary Port Tribe and the historic Chiyoda Wars. The Port Tribe emerged as heroes who saved Neo-Tokyo by defeating Otori Ojiro after he implemented the deadly new XP4 system. Kazuki is revealed to be a former member of this legendary group. The group reunites with Kazuki and Koishi at Lovely Ocean, a former Port Tribe hideout. They discover the strict rules of Minato Rankingdom, a system where citizens are ranked into 4 tiers: king, nobleman, commoner, and lowest class. Those who fall to the lowest rank face deportation and death, revealing the brutal nature of Minato's social system. The concept of mounting power is introduced as a numerical measurement system that quantifies a person's status and influence. This power is calculated through an advanced app developed by Zero that measures factors like jealousy, admiration, fame, looks, and luxury possessions. The mounting power system has strict rules. Values naturally decrease over time through daily interactions and transactions. People must actively work to maintain their power levels or risk falling to the capital. This creates a society where everyone constantly seeks to increase their mounting through various means. The system has special rules regarding challenges to the king. Only nobles can directly challenge the king. If commoners attempt it, their mounting power severely decreases. This creates an advantageous position for those already in power, similar to historical class systems. A shocking revelation occurs when Suai is discovered to be the current king. However, reports indicate Suai has become a tyrant who controls the port through violence and terror, brutally eliminating challengers to the throne. This behavior seems completely out of character. A confrontation occurs with guards who block access to the area. They question visitors about a shining bat, which is apparently something the king seeks. When denied passage, a fight breaks out, showcasing the mounting power system in action. The king is revealed to be numbers 9, demonstrating immense power by easily defeating challengers and sending them to the capital. The brutal display of force leaves little doubt about the king's ruthless nature. A tense reunion occurs where Sui confirms their identity but reveals a transformed personality. They explain how death changed them, making them obsessed with power and winning. This new Sui embraces their role as number 9, ruler of Minato. The situation escalates as Sui challenges the group, insisting they must defeat both them and XG to change anything about the town. The encounter turns violent, with Sui demonstrating overwhelming power against former friends. The scene opens with the introduction of 4 identical brothers from the Minato tribe: Ichiro, Jiro, Saburo, and Shiro. Their sudden appearance causes some surprise and mild tension, as they are known for bringing trouble. The location appears to be a secret base that one of them had previously discovered. The setting shifts to introduce Mita Santoro, another member of the Minato tribe. Someone has just regained consciousness in what is revealed to be Mita's hideout. The conversation reveals there was a recent conflict involving Kuronaka, and someone named Yakumo, resulting in a defeat and subsequent escape. The discussion turns to the history of numbers and the city. It is explained that Arisugawa, who became king during a turbulent period, managed to create peace in the port area. However, Arisugawa eventually had to leave, entrusting leadership to Mita and Yotsugo. A critical event is described from 10 days prior when they encountered Yakumo Sui. Initially trusted due to claimed connections with Kazuki, Sui betrayed them after gaining their confidence. Following a midnight explosion, Sui defeated them, became a nobleman, and seized the throne, causing chaos in the port. The conversation focuses on Sui's transformation, with strong implications that Zero is responsible for brainwashing Sui. There is emotional investment in recovering their childhood friend and returning them to normal. XG is explained as a death game initiated by Zero against Yo. Winners can make wishes to Zero as rewards. The discussion weighs using potential rewards to either help Sui or abolish the current ruling system. A plan is formulated to improve their situation. The strategy involves raising mounting power and aiming to make Yo a nobleman, which would grant the right to challenge the king. They identify 3 investigation areas: Garekiyama, Odaiba, and Roppongi. The focus shifts to addressing practical community needs. They discover an area with people struggling under the rules, particularly regarding medical treatment. A plan is developed to provide healthcare assistance, which could simultaneously help citizens and increase mounting power. A tense medical situation unfolds as someone appears to be injured. Koichi is asked to examine the wound, but faces resistance from the patient, who expresses distrust of outsiders and only wants treatment from Garekiyama. To help ease the situation, Kazuki uses a trusted perfume spray while Koichi proceeds with the examination. The scene shifts to a discussion about proper medical examination techniques, emphasizing the importance of listening to and believing patients. The group decides to inspect the surrounding area, though there seems to be some concern about being overly cautious. Attention turns to surveillance cameras near a house. There is discussion about adjusting camera angles, as their presence may be causing stress to sensitive individuals. The area has numerous ports. With mounting power achieved, some team members prepare to return to Garekiyama to continue treating patients. A confrontation occurs with an explosive tracker who claims to expose people's past secrets to gain mounting power. This individual threatens to reveal compromising information and invites the group to Shibadera. Despite reservations, the team decides to pursue this person to prevent further harm. At Shibadera, the tracker attempts to expose secrets about Tsuruko Senba, particularly regarding her past as a writer. The situation is diffused when Gotanda intervenes, revealing the tracker's equipment is blacklisted, effectively stopping the exposure attempt. The scene transitions to a more casual setting, where Mi-chan and others discuss an ongoing investigation over drinks. Though appearing relaxed, there are undertones of serious work being conducted behind the scenes. Focus shifts to a character known as the Mounting Ability Distribution Brother, who has been giving away expensive items. This individual appears to represent negative aspects of port culture, raising concerns among observers about dignity and proper conduct. A tense exchange occurs involving Mita and the return of previously distributed items. Despite pressure to accept returned items to improve mounting ability, Mita refuses, revealing past regrets about betraying friends for money and noble status. A discussion begins about potential flaws in the city's judgment system. Initially believed to be purely automated through an app, evidence suggests human involvement in making these judgments. The presence of numerous surveillance cameras throughout the city, even in residential areas, supports this theory. The group speculates about who might be making these judgments. Rather than random hired individuals, they suspect people who either were coerced by Zero or have personal motivations for participating. However, without concrete evidence or means of contact, they cannot verify these theories. While reviewing the current rankings, they notice something peculiar. The top-ranked noble has remained unchanged since arriving at the port, despite significant movement in other positions. This unusual stability in ranking raises suspicions about the authenticity of the system. A system voice interrupts, revealing itself as part of the influencer organization, comprised of upper-class aristocrats. They explain their role in sharing judgment duties with AI, marking a significant change from the previous all-AI system under the former king. The influencer invites the group to Diver Square for negotiations. Despite suspicions, they decide to attend, viewing it as a potential shortcut to achieving noble status and helping Sui. At Divers Square, the influencer reveals their desire to remove Yakumo Sui from power, offering to cooperate if Kuronaka becomes king. They explain their role in manipulating the city's economy and traffic flow through the system. A challenge is presented, defeating an opponent, Brave Diver, to prove worthiness for cooperation. The battle commences as a test of capability. After successful completion of the challenge, the influencer warns against revealing their existence to anyone, especially Yakumo Sui, threatening noble status revocation for breaking this agreement. The scene shifts to a grave visit, revealing it to be the resting place of a former comrade named Kazuki. During this visit, they discover a partially damaged Judge Robo, previously thought destroyed. The group decides to relocate the Judge Robo to their hideout for safekeeping, considering it an important witness to past events. They plan to move discreetly to avoid detection by 24 Drive. The group discusses retrieving Sui back and planning their strategy. Upon arriving at their location, they discover the room is messy and the beam bat has been stolen. After some discussion, they realize that Sui, who admires the Port tribe, may have taken it since they were one of the few who knew about it. The group formulates a plan, with one member having a backup insurance plan they won't reveal to avoid complications. They decide to head to the port tower where they believe Sui is hiding. Upon reaching their destination, they encounter resistance but persist in their attempt to meet Sui. A confrontation ensues where they challenge Sui to an XP game, suggesting Sui still has feelings for the sport despite denials. The situation intensifies as they leverage information about influencers who are suspicious of Sui. Mounting pressure forces Sui to eventually agree to participate in XP, though initially resistant to the idea. Zero appears and approves of the situation, choosing not to interfere with their plan to settle things through XP. The group discusses the stakes, with the main goal being to reverse Sui's brainwashing and restore them to their former self. Teams are formed for the XP match, with Mitano and Yotsugo being recruited. The stolen beambat is revealed as leverage to ensure participation. Despite tension, there is an underlying excitement about playing XP together again. Deep reflection occurs about the city rules, its rulers, and the complex situation at hand. There is strong determination to win the upcoming match, save Sui, and restore both the harbor and their shared passion for XP. The stage is set for a crucial confrontation that will determine multiple fates. A critical XP competition is about to begin. There is tension around someone who has been overly focused on XP, with suggestions they should find new interests. The activity seems to have lost its joy for some participants, though there is hope that increased competition could restore the excitement. The Shinagawa tribe is mentioned as having broken free from some form of prior conditioning through XP. A dramatic revelation occurs as someone declares they have no bonds and have discarded their past completely. They claim to have been reborn as a stronger person after a near-death experience, rejecting their former weak self. This declaration is met with concern and disagreement from others who value their shared history and mutual support. The conflict intensifies as accusations fly about who is truly acting childish and who is obsessed with power. There are references to someone named Zero having a negative influence. Despite attempts at reconciliation, the tension continues to build as they prepare to begin their competition. A heated debate erupts about whether power alone is meaningful. Reference is made to a diary entry that seems to contradict current claims about power being everything. The discussion becomes increasingly confrontational, with challenges being issued between participants. The conflict centers around the theft of something called a beam bat and continued attachment to XB despite claims of having moved beyond it. Arguments persist about being bound by the past versus creating a new identity. The emotional intensity of the confrontation continues to escalate. There are final observations about ongoing attachment to XB and suggestions about how things could have been handled differently. References are made to a shop and rules of the land. There is contemplation about relative abilities and missed opportunities, ending with expressions of regret and questioning where things went wrong. A tense confrontation begins as participants analyze past mistakes and discuss taking corrective action. The group acknowledges the significant role of gear power while strategizing their next moves. Initial exchanges reveal underlying tension about past decisions and their consequences. The conflict intensifies around the theme of power and its proper use. One individual expresses determination to rescue their childhood friend Sui through force, highlighting deep personal stakes in the confrontation. The debate centers on whether might makes right. Discussion turns to moral implications of sacrifice and necessity. While Sui's perspective gets acknowledged, there's fierce disagreement about breaking hearts and making sacrifices. The conversation reveals deep ideological divisions about justified actions versus wrong ones. The debate evolves into accusations about killing and moral responsibility. Past events at the port and Ichinose's death become central points of contention. Different perspectives emerge about intentionality and justification of actions that led to deaths. The emotional stakes escalate as participants grapple with friendship, loss, and control. The complex situation in Shinagawa and its impact on relationships comes into focus. The importance of balancing emotions with rational thinking becomes a key theme. The consequences of past choices, particularly regarding Suki and Yo, are examined. The conversation centers on whether saving Shinagawa justifies previous actions, revealing deep divisions about the relative value of different lives and choices. A major shift occurs as someone achieves king rank after an intense battle. The aftermath brings reflection and regret, particularly regarding Yo and Suki. Significant power changes are recorded, marking a turning point in the confrontation. The focus shifts to questions of identity and authenticity, particularly regarding Sui's true nature. Debates arise about brainwashing versus genuine personality changes. The complexity of knowing someone's true self becomes a central point of contention. The conflict reaches its climax with an intense battle sequence. Determination and resolve become evident as opponents face off. The fight showcases both technical skill and emotional investment from all participants. A tense confrontation unfolds between two individuals, with one vowing to defeat the other. The exchange becomes increasingly heated as accusations fly about who initiated the conflict. The intensity builds as one party expresses deep regret about their friendship, while the other claims complete ignorance about the situation. A figure named Zero appears and reveals that someone named Minato has been defeated. The conversation shifts to discussion of ultra reward and remaining numbers that need to be conquered. A determined declaration is made to defeat all numbers and use the reward to resurrect someone named Sui, though Zero questions whether this would align with Sui's wishes. The dialogue turns to strategic matters involving rule changes in Shinagawa and preparations for the return of the Minato tribe. Permissions are granted, and plans begin taking shape, though there are lingering questions about the influencer's stance on these changes. The conversation maintains an air of uncertainty and hidden agendas. Updates are shared about various team members' movements, including news about Saburo and Shiro at Minato Tower. The group discusses expanding their forces, with new members potentially joining their ranks. The dynamics of their operation are shifting as they plan to move between cities while tracking missing Minato members. The focus shifts to practical matters, including a significant ball used in XB. A smartphone belonging to the deceased Sui becomes a central point of discussion, triggering emotional responses from those present. This leads to deeper questions about past events and responsibility, particularly regarding Sui's death. The narrative takes a reflective turn, exploring themes of loss, regret, and the weight of responsibility. The death of Sui is acknowledged as meaningless, leaving lasting shadows that can't be escaped. The focus character realizes these feelings of guilt and tragedy aren't unique to them, suggesting a broader perspective is emerging about shared experiences of loss.